Welcome to Encounter Wargaming. I'm Jay, and today we're going to be taking a look at the battles in the Underhive Expansion for the original Necromunda. Hope you guys have enjoyed joining us for my look at the original set of Necromunda books, because I thought with the new edition of Necromunda upon us that it would be great to take a look at the original stuff that came out. I've had it on my bookshelf for years, and I thought this is the perfect time to show this off. So I hope you enjoy these Relic of the Dark Age videos. I always love taking a look at the old stuff. It brings back so many memories, happy fuzzy memories from my childhood, this era of 40k that I fell in love with originally. So let's take a look at this book, which is really just a like back when they used to do compendiums. They used to release new rules all the time in White Dwarf, and then they would just like create a compendium, which is basically what this is, a collection of articles from their White Dwarf magazine. So unlike the other books that are black and white, this one's in full color because it's basically a collection of magazine articles, and we're going to take a look at those and how they expanded the game and take a look at the guys who designed the game. So let's check it out. So here we go, Necromunda Battles in the Underhive. Sweet. So this is the last piece of the original Necromunda that I wanted to show you guys. Let's get into it. So as you can see, designed by Andy Chambers and Rick Priestley. So these are the guys that really created this. Jervis Johnson, so on and so forth. These are the names that we know well in the Warhammer world. Yeah, and this guy was a compilation of White Dwarf articles, and it appears by the copyright date that it was released in 97. So we've got 95 for the first one, 96 for the second one, and 97 for the third one. So over those 3 years, they basically developed this game, which is awesome. Oh, Gav Thorpe's in there too, awesome. And of course John Blanche, all the beautiful artwork I was commenting on in the other videos. So let's go. There's Andy Chambers there. What an awesome guy. Avid Space Wolf fan, so he was also a big proponent of the 3rd edition orcs, so that's awesome that he's got that wicked beard, the Lemmy beard going on. Love it. Again, with the old school paint jobs. Man, brings back so many memories. It's amazing that even in Necromunda they still had the green flocked tables. I guess that was just kind of the standard back then. Awesome. Here we go. We got some weapons, traps, crate counters. Cool. New experience tables and stuff. Again, the awesome John Blanche artwork. I still today love this. Loves John Blanche's style. The old like black and white ink drawings. Look at that. Like, it's just so grimdark. Love it. There he is, Gav Thorpe. Showcasing the creators, the guys who led this whole thing. These are the guys who created Warhammer and Warhammer 40k. That is so cool. It almost looks like something from Malifaux or something. Very voodoo. This little guy with the giant head. I'll zoom in on that for you guys for a second. Look at that. This little guy with the giant head. I guess he's a little familiar or something. That's so funny. Sorry, just had to show you that. The coolness, the quirkiness of the way 40k used to be. So here we go, we're setting up a much more in-depth map now than before. I guess they intend you to use all of the cardboard terrain from both sets, as well as other stuff. Cool. Rat skins. Smash and grab. So now we're introducing... Basically, I think this is basically a narrative campaign that we're following now. With Gav Thorpe and possibly Andy Chambers. Nope, Warwick. Gav and Warwick. They're basically just giving you an example, I suppose. That is so cool. This double-headed chick. That is some crazy shit, man. See, this is the era I got into 40k, and it was just so creative back then. I mean, it still is, but there was so much more silliness and just all-out weirdness. Classic Escher art. Judgment Day. What a cool little book. I love that they put this striped border around all the pages too. Just adds a little personality to it. And the fact that this book was released in full color was a big deal back then because pretty much, like I showed you guys the other books, they were all black and white, and all the 40k books were black and white too. I imagine this was full color simply because it was a collection of White Dwarf articles, and of course the magazine is in full color. So here we go, we got Arbites. We got an example Delac gang. 1500 credit gang rating. Sorry, 43 credits left over, that's interesting. The Burger Boys. Funny shit. Escher, the Gang of the Black Orchid. Arbite Combat Shotgun. So cool. So basically, if you were into the first two books and you've expanded your gangs and stuff, now they're just really showing you how to play, different ways to play, different scenarios that they've done, example campaigns. I love these maps. It appears to me that they expanded the terrain set, because that to me looks like it's more than just the two cardboard terrain sets put together. Cool. Fun stuff. This is an era of gaming that I miss. Not to say that the new editions aren't awesome. I love 40k, I've always loved 40k, and I can't wait to see the new Necromunda. But I really just wanted to show you guys the old Necromunda before the new one comes out. Again, going through alternate maps. Now we're getting into a little focus on the Adeptus Arbites, written by Andy Chambers. It's actually too bad that Arbites aren't in 40k anymore. I mean, I'm sure you could use Tempestus Scions as Arbites. In fact, that might actually be a cool idea. I'm sure people have done it. Maybe I'll consider that in the future. That could lead to some cool conversions. And you guys know me. I'm a conversion freak. Look at the old school Arbite models. They're still wicked cool even to this day. And they released the next line of these actually for the next edition of Necromunda that comes after this. I'll see if I can get my hands on the book for the next Necromunda, maybe show you guys in the future. Not gonna lie, I have a printout version of it because I was able to find a PDF years back before they came out with, before they decided to come out with this new edition. So that was really all you could use. That was the most updated rules system of Necromunda until now. So maybe I'll show that to you guys if I can get an actual copy of it. But until then, let's check out the original Necromunda. Look at this thing. Converted out of a chimera, however you say it. That is actually a really cool conversion. I want to know where he got those wheels from. Even the dude out the top is an extreme conversion. I can even see the bits that they used for that. We've got, look at that. So basically for the Chimera, he just took the top and like raised it a bit on these like metal platforms and stuff. Look at this dude. He's got the, oh, sorry, I blocked it with my hand there. Look at this dude. He's got the old metal Catachan officer head with a cigar in his mouth. Clearly got a Mordian body or a Praetorian body with the cool epaulets. Badass. I guess he's supposed to be an Arbite officer. It's basically a riot vehicle. Love it. Look at that. So cool. And back then they actually used to encourage conversions. Nowadays it seems that, at least in 40k in the 8th edition, they've taken out all the rules for units that don't have legit models. It's like they don't want to encourage conversions as much anymore, as much as they want you to buy the kits that they've prefabricated. That ain't stopping me. I'm all about conversions. Alright, now we've got some cool stuff here. We've got a zombie plague table. Zombie food lost in the depths. Cool. Andy's cyborg assassins. I survived the zombie lair. Will you survive? Terror sweeps the Underhive. Outbreak of dreaded plague zombies. Cool. Ooh, that's cool. We've got a Lictor popping out. Attacking an Orlock dude. That's wild. Again, in the last book we saw rules for Genestealer cultists and things like that, but we haven't seen Lictors. That's an interesting thing to see. Cameo appearances. You can have cameo subtype plots through your campaigns and find ways into the game's studio campaign with subplot going over several weeks where cyborg assassins are in the Underhive. Cyborgs could change shape freely and could never know who was disguised at any one time. Cool. Apparently he wrote rules for cyborg assassins. So cool. Creatures from the Underhive Bestiary section of the Outlanders rulebook, which we saw in the last video. Or even invent a monster yourself. Again, encouraging you to go outside the written rules. Try using creatures from Warhammer 40,000 in some Necromunda gangs. A couple gangs going up against a Lictor. Rather than having to kill a monster, all the gangers had to do was survive until the time the locked door opened. Right back and finish the job, or perhaps the Lictor will get that chance. Cool. So as I was talking about when showing the other books, the characteristic profiles and the weapon profiles and things were pretty much the same as they were in 40k at the time, in 2nd edition 40,000. So I guess that would make it very easy for you to bring a model over from the Warhammer 40,000 universe into the Necromunda universe, because like I say, the characteristics, the weapon characteristics, all that stuff was right on par. Like I say, the same 10 characteristics that we've seen right from 1st edition Warhammer. I guess it just limited you in the way that you wouldn't be able to, you know, give it a value of credits or whatever, but if you wanted to create a unique scenario, there's no reason you couldn't take anything from the Warhammer 40,000 universe, now that I'm thinking about it, and just throw it into your games as like an enemy that your gang has to fight against or whatever. That's really cool. Really cool. So we've got new scenarios here. Escort. Monster Hunt. So there you go. There you go, they just give you a generic monster characteristics. The Nightcrawler. Fights with 2 powerful claws, can never be pinned. It's immune to all psychology. Cool. Troll Bridge. This is awesome. So they're basically just giving you, again, like I say, example campaigns and things. New territories. It's teaching you how to create your own monsters and things for the game. I really hope they try to replicate some of this creativity and that's what I'm looking, customizability in the new game. I doubt they will. It seems to me like they're going to create a very basic board game and then expand upon it with 3D rules. But I guess it doesn't stop us from creating our own house rules, guys. Oh, look at that! In this, they're referring to it as the Thing. I guess they're just using that guy as a random monster. But if you take a look at this, I remember this guy from 2nd edition. This was the Foul Spawn model. Now, just to get on a tangent for a second, this guy right here was in the Chaos Space Marine book, / Chaos Demon / Chaos Hordes book in 2nd edition. His name was Foul Spawn, and basically he was a Chaos Spawn that was dedicated to Nurgle, of course, and as he killed stuff, he could regenerate wounds, which was really cool. Even higher than the wounds he started with. So they don't do stuff like that anymore in the rules. And I think he started with like 20 wounds or 24 wounds or something. I could probably pull out the old Second Ed Chaos book for you guys in a future video. But right now, we're taking a look at Necromunda. In fact, if you guys want to see the old Second Ed stuff, I pretty much have all of it. So throw a comment down below and say, yes, I would like to see the Second Ed stuff, and I'll probably do it for you guys. Cool. Look at that with all the old Chaos Spawn, the old pewter Chaos Spawn tentacles. Sweet. Arbitrator scenario. Militia. Local militia. Cool. Here we go, we got transports. I didn't even think there was vehicle rules in this game at all. Now we're seeing a converted transport. Railway, carriages, barges, yep. So they've incorporated that at least into the stories for your scenarios. I haven't yet seen rules in this book for vehicles, though. However, hopefully in the future I will be showing you guys the original Gorka Morka books, because I have those as well, and I'm super excited to show those off. And basically that game was more or less this rule system, pretty much, because again, this is the same era of gaming, guys. That's sort of end of 2nd edition, pre-3rd edition 40k. And basically Gorka Morka was this rule set with additional vehicle rules. You had that like tourney gubbins and stuff. And wow, what a cool game that used to be. I had good memories playing both Necromunda and Gorka Morka. Again, I didn't play this edition of Necromunda, but I did play Gorka Morka back in the day. Gave me an excuse to get all the cool new at the time, orc models, which look so puny in comparison to the current orc line. But they were so much bigger than the 2nd edition orc line. So anyway, here we go. We got a Redemptionist Gang example. Spider-haunted depths. Home defense. Here you go. They got some little homemade automated defense things, a little turret, some robotic arms and stuff. Look at this guy. That is so crazy. I love John Blanche's art. That is so chaos. Wow. Just the disproportionates. The very sparing use of color in his art. Like I say, it was all black and white, or like just red in this case. Really opens the imagination. Here we go, we got some extra Spyrer rules. Oris, Chikara's, Malkadon's. Here we go, defense systems. Just some cool narrative stuff. We got the standard 40k dating system that we're used to seeing, which has evolved quite a bit. Now it's like 10 digits or something. Back then it was only like 7 digits. Designer's notes. And here we go, event cards. Now back in the day, they used to give you cards for everything, and if they didn't, they printed them in the book, so you could just like photocopy these pages and cut them out, or just cut your book. But geez, you don't want to do that, right? Us collectors don't want to be cutting up books. Although I'm not going to lie, my old 2nd edition Orc Codex, I did cut the cards out, the War Gear cards and stuff out, which I wish I had never done. Maybe I'll see if I can find an untouched copy somewhere online. But most of my other 2nd Ed books I've kept intact. Poison Cloud, Race Against Time. This just adds extra twists to your scenarios and stuff like that. Basic events that can just like randomly happen. Sickening fungus. Toxic waste. Cool. Out of ammo. Gas pocket. There you go. Find a spare clip. Fragile roof. Have a guy fall through the ceiling. Cool. Now, of course, you would just cut this out, fold it over, and glue it together. Bam. True Grit. Cool. That was something I remember from past editions. There you go, showing the Necromunda starter set. Sweet. There you go, you got the rule book that I showed you, the source book that I showed you, the Outlander supplement which I've showed you, and now I've shown you this. So let's take a look at these old school catalogs. Like I said in the first video in this series, I love seeing these pages. They used to do this all the time. I remember back in the day you could order a catalog for free and it was basically set up like this. Like they showed you the figures in like real scale, like that's the actual height of the figure, right? So you can see exactly what you're ordering, what you're getting. And they had individual codes for each individual bit. Back in the days when you could order bits. So if I just wanted that heavy stubber, I could just order that heavy stubber. Cool. And clearly, after seeing the first book, the rule book, they have expanded on this line quite a bit. At this point, we're 2 years later. So they've expanded on the model line. We've got all the old plastics. These were the ones that came in the original Necromunda starter set. I guess now they've expanded them to be able to order them separately. We've got a variety of Goliath leaders. Like I say, now they've expanded the model line at this point. So cool. Fansars. Man, the new plastics for Necromunda look so good, but I am almost tempted to try and find a lot of these old school models. I still have a bunch of Delac models, as I've commented before, and a couple of these Eschers, this one specifically, and this one here specifically. I have in my Nurgle Renegades and Heretics army currently, just because I need some extra bodies. And Chaos will employ anybody. Kind of wish I had kept them for my Necromunda gang now, though. But you know what? All these models are still probably available on eBay. Can't guarantee you'll find them for a good price, but... And these Cawdor models. I mean, even back then, I thought they would be so cool as Chaos Cultists, and even today, they would probably be amazing as Chaos Cultists. Like, just these cloth, like, mask hood things that they have going on. So cool. And the Spirers. And then even into the next edition of Necromunda, they updated some of the models, but the majority of these models stayed the same. The Redemptionists, like they were relatively new. I guess they came out in 96 then, this model line. And so when they redid it in like, I guess it would be 99 or 2000 probably when they came out with the next edition of Necromunda. They kept a lot of the sculpts because they were still good. Of course, they redid the Arbiters, like I was saying, the Arbitrators. The Ratskins, sweet. Pretty extensive model line, actually, for such a small gang. Cool. Underhive Scum. Basically bounty hunters and criminals and such. The Scavies. Badass nuclear mutants. We've got Plague Zombies. This, like, undead-looking guy. We saw that dude in the last book, actually. In the Outlanders rulebook. Karloth Valios. Valois, maybe? Okay, now we've got actual bounty hunters. Sorry, I referred to Underhive Scum as bounty hunters, but I guess they're just like, guns for hire. Whereas bounty hunters, I guess, are a totally different thing. Weirds, so there's all your Psychers, Ripperjacks, Giant Rats, those are your Necromunda monsters you're bringing in. Again, they didn't create any real advanced monsters, but as you saw, people were using, these guys were using the Foul Spawn and the Lictor and things like that. There's the Necromunda plastic bulkheads I was talking about in the past videos. You just kind of clip the cardboard terrain into it. I'm sure you could buy a whole bunch and make a whole bunch of your own terrain from it. Weapon sprues. Back when they had the old plastic and pewter weapon sprues. Ooh, I still to this day have a bag full of these shotguns. And auto guns. Which do get used quite frequently when I'm making human conversions. So anyway, there you go, guys. That is Battles in the Underhive, the White Dwarf supplement for Necromunda. Hope you enjoyed that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that final look at the old school Necromunda rules. The, I guess, original edition of Necromunda, the first time it was called Necromunda by name. There was a previous incarnation, but it actually wasn't called Necromunda. Hit subscribe, hit that little notification right next to subscribe so that you know when our videos come out. Right now we're releasing 2 videos a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you like our normal Tuesday and Thursday releases, all our unboxings, our battle reports, our campaign series, these series, terrain series, if you like all that stuff, please check out our Patreon account for as little as $1 a video for these videos that you are already enjoying. You get a whole bunch of other videos free of charge, and as well, we're constantly releasing videos for patrons only. Some of them are looks through our own personal studios and what's upcoming on the channel, so it gives you sort of a look at the models and the terrain projects that we're working on. Also, when we release a series, like a terrain series, a tutorial series, or a campaign series for whatever gaming system, we usually release one of the 4 or one of the 5 videos for free for the patrons only. So check that out in the description below. Otherwise, hit subscribe, and we'll see you at our next encounter.
Like a monkey in a rocket on his way back.